Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Gabby Turner, and in this pick a card reading we have three options. Number one is the Wheel of Fortune, number two is the Sun card, and number three is the Empress. And we're going to be looking into what are they thinking and feeling probably since that last conversation. So what impact did that conversation have? I do feel like it was an impactful conversation for whoever this was who's watching. So if the most recent conversation you had wasn't that big of a deal, then we might be referring back to a conversation that was more impactful, because to me it feels like already, before I get into any of these readings, that it did leave a significant impact in some way. You could view this for a platonic person. I do mostly have this in mind for romantic connections, however. But again, we've got those three options. Number one is the Wheel of Fortune, number two is the Sun, number three is the Empress. So use the timestamps below whenever you're ready, and I'll see you at your reading. Alright, so group number one, you chose the Wheel of Fortune card. So this is how I've set up this reading. It's usually what I do when I'm looking at any sort of connection. First of all, I have you over here, the other person over here, and then the shared energy in between. I feel like there's a mutual desire, like, not to argue or not to ruffle each other's feathers. With this Five of Wands being reversed, it's like, there's no use, I don't know. So, to some degree, with this Queen of Wands being them and the Queen of Wands looking the other way, it's almost like this person is like, maybe we should not continue this. I feel like there's an expectation here, first of all, on their part, that there's more to the conversation. Like, the conversation hasn't been fully had. It began. Maybe you're still sort of in mid-conversation, especially if it's something via text or email, or even if it's in person or over the phone. It's like we haven't really gotten to finish the conversation exactly. But this person isn't, they've got other things going on. I think with the Queen of Wands, I would not say that it's insignificant to them, but they're also like, I'm not in a rush to pick that conversation up again right away. And I think also because the Wheel of Fortune is just the overarching card, the card that you pulled in making your decision, I think this rings true as well with them. There may be a lot going on. I feel like they are really occupied right now with kind of a lot going on, and they're more or less feeling happy with what's going on in their life. They're trying to make things happen. They're caught up in the moment. They're active. They're doing things, or they're thinking about things that are enlivening and interesting. If this person isn't out there being active, then they're actively in their head. But I don't think that they're necessarily expending too much energy on the conversation right now, except that they feel that there's more to the conversation. It's not over yet, and they expect that there will be. I think that they have prepared a little bit more about what they want to say, but they're also keeping themselves occupied right now. And the way that they're seeing you at the moment as the Eight of Swords reversed, upright, the Eight of Swords talks about sort of getting into a mental fixation that keeps us stuck, and we can't really make progress, even though like really great progress would be very possible if we weren't blinding ourselves. So I think that they're kind of seeing you maybe right now as having a sort of moment of enlightenment, I think. Yeah. I just clarified it. I'm like, is this reversal making the card more positive? Sometimes a reversal can emphasize more of the negative traits of a card, and sometimes it can deplete some of the negative traits. So I'm just asking here, like, what is this? Basically, they're seeing that you have a lot of clarity right now. And the clarity that they think that you have is that basically you've been getting in your own way. Like, you have been the obstacle. Your perceptions thus far have been part of the obstacle that you're facing. And I think that whatever you all have said in this recent conversation is indicating to them that you want to express that to them in order to sort of clear the air and maybe release baggage between the two of you. And I think this makes this person feel good. You know, the Queen of Wands is normally, we got this little sunflower here, right? Also, the Wheel of Fortune is the overarching card. It's like basically positive, feeling positively about things, feeling upbeat, feeling happy, feeling pretty good about life. So they were happy with this conversation. I think they're glad that, you know, there was this sort of clearing of the air, and they are glad that you have this clarity. They're glad that you were able to express this clarity about how you understood that perhaps you were getting in your own way. And it gives this person a sense of freedom as well that you said that. Let's see what else they might be thinking and feeling about this conversation going forward, because it looks like there's more here. Yeah, it seems like a continued, like, you know, interest on your side of making peace, smoothing things over. You know, we have two queens on their side, so regardless of who this person is, gender-wise or whatever, like, I feel there is a sort of empathic, they're really in the spirit of understanding you. You know, they can put themselves in your shoes in a way, and it's very nurturing and sort of a comforting, like, I get it energy, you know. And they understand, I think that they're also understanding, as this conversation will move forward in the future, that the two of you have a really tight bond. You may have had your issues, you know, like on both sides. This card is in the middle, so it's a shared energy. There's a recognition of, like, well, you know, our interactions have not always been the most positive, but there is a sense of long-term bonding here. And that's especially emphasized by them because they're also the Queen of Pentacles, which is still more of that earth energy. The Devil card is Capricorn energy specifically. The Queen of Pentacles is all of the earth signs, can represent all of the earth signs. It's like understanding that you making peace, or like offering some sort of truce, or waving the white flag, or just admitting to your own mistakes, like, they're very impressed with the maturity of that, and they appreciate the feeling of long-term stability and security this gives them with you. You know, basically, I can tell that our relationship is going to last, whatever that relationship might be, you know. Yeah, and then we have it clarified with the Ten of Pentacles. Why did it want to come up reversed? Okay. You know what? It gives them security, but at the same time, the Devil is pointing out that it also makes them a little scared that they might lose you in some way. Like, it's sort of like, wow, I feel like you are a permanent fixture in my life. But at the same time, that level of security that you have just given me through offering this truce, through clearing the air with me, through apologizing or admitting or forgiving or whatever it was that you did to improve and heal the situation, it makes them feel also simultaneously the potential loss of you. Like, wow, I really don't ever want to lose you. You mean so much to me. So what's the final advice for group one? We have the Four of Cups here. And I think that might be just giving you that advice that, you know, even though right now this person might feel kind of like happy-go-lucky and basically positive, as the energy moves forward, like you reaching out to this person, I think they just want you to understand, if they don't respond right away, or if you don't hear from them for a while, it's because they're still kind of digesting. Because I think as time goes on, or maybe if you talk again and there's more to the conversation or something, at some point it's just like they feel this Three of Swords more, and it makes them, it's like they don't want to face the music of, wow, you mean so much to me, but now I'm really feeling my fear. You know, the Devil card is all about like our fear-based energy. And this is the shared energy. So going forward, this is your advice. You might really want to reconnect more with this person, or offer more, or say more, or smooth things over even some more. I don't know. But on their end, it's just to remind you that there is safety and security here. Both of you need to understand that. This person needs to understand it and not get so like up in their feelings that they're like avoiding you because it triggers that fear too much, you know. And for you, you need to understand that their fear is being triggered because they do really care about you, and it's just that they're feeling it a lot right now. You know, it is going to be triggering something in them like that pretty soon. So it's for both of you to understand you're not being rejected, and they don't need to fear being rejected. There is safety and security. Remember, this Four of Cups, it's usually read as a negative card in relationships or in anything, but the fours are also all about stability, right? And it's also about understanding that sometimes enough is enough, right? 3 cups is enough, you know, so sometimes it is okay to just let things simmer and say, well, we reconnected, or we connected, or we had that conversation recently, you know, we got into a good place, and now we can sort of set it and forget it for a while and not get so much into these devil card worries and fears. All right, so group 1, I hope that was helpful. If you're interested in a personal reading, of course, you know where to look in the description box for those links. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, group 2, those of you who chose the Sun card as your option, let's get into your reading. So what are they thinking and feeling about and or since that conversation that you have recently had? I feel like they are... So first of all, this is the shared energy, this is their energy, and this is your energy as they see it. So I think they feel like you are probably a little bit jealous with this 7 of Cups. They feel like you're jealous and that you might be kind of like making things up in your head a little bit to get jealous over. They do feel like you feel a strong bond to them, a strong emotional need for them, but that you are kind of confusing yourselves. Now, the 3 of Cups is the shared energy, so both of you have more people in your lives other than just each other, you know, and whether that means that, you know, someone is dating someone else, or you're both single and you're talking to other people, or if it's just, you know, you have other people in your life that matter, friends, family, etc., even acquaintances. Sometimes we can have a lot going on where we need to give attention to other people. You know, you do have that in common. You both have that, right? Like, you know, that's human nature. We're going to have multiple people influencing our lives, and yet they feel like you are somehow jealous about the time that they are spending with other people, in whatever context that they are doing that. And they think that you are maybe just creating traumatic emotions within yourself about it, like making yourself feel bad, basically. Now, with the King of Cups here, you know, there are other people that they care about, but they also definitely care very much about you. So for you guys, I'm going to ask, like, what would they want you to understand about the situation? First of all, they want you to understand that you should be at peace. You know, there's really nothing to worry yourself or put yourself into turmoil over. They want you to be at peace. They do feel like the 2 of you are going through some sort of important process of change, and it's mostly for the positive, but it also, I think it does give them a little bit of a, you know, an uncomfortable feeling in the pit of their stomach. You know, it does make them feel kind of like, ugh, I kind of don't want to be around you right now because your energy isn't currently peaceful. Like, I would like you to be peaceful. Like, there's no reason not for you to not be peaceful. And yet, you know, like, I feel like I need space from you. What is this Judgment? What is this upgrade that they think is happening? They feel like both of you are getting to a point in things where you each are going to understand that you need to both focus on your own lives for a moment. To be honest, that's what the Emperor card is all about. It's like me doing me. And they're excited about it. They're excited about it for you. They're like, you need to go out there and be doing your own thing. Like, that will make you happy. And I need to be doing my thing. And that means that there are other people in my life who are special to me who I need to spend time with right now. Or other passion projects or something. It's like, I have to give my attention elsewhere. It doesn't mean that I don't care about you. But I've got to do me too. And the way that I'm doing me right now is focusing on other people who I have special connections to. They could be even their children, right? Some of you might even be jealous of their children, or they're perceiving it that way. Now, the overarching card here was the Sun card, so that often relates to children as well. But in any case, they feel like you all are getting to a point where you're going to understand you need to go off and have fun and do your own thing, and they want you to have fun. They want you to do your own thing. If this is like a dating situation where the two of you are not monogamous, or maybe even if you are monogamous, they kind of might want the two of you to kind of like take a break, and they wouldn't be jealous themselves if you were seeing other people. And especially if you're not monogamous right now and you're just talking or whatever, they definitely kind of feel like you need to see what else is out there. And it doesn't mean that they don't care about you. We have had the King of Cups and the Six of Cups. This person definitely cares about you, but for their own sanity, they need space. Like, they need breathing room, you know? It's making them feel a little bit claustrophobic at, you know, the way that you're coming on so strong with your emotions. So what is the advice from your spirit guides? We've gotten some advice from this person and what they would tell you about this, but what do your spirit guides advise? So it's the Ten of Swords, and that is really about releasing and surrendering. So what this person wants to happen probably really is necessary. You kind of need to cut the cord with this person for the moment, and like stop allowing your own energy to be so icky, and like I just feel like it's causing both of you to have this horrible feeling in the pit of your stomach. It's okay. It's okay to release. If you love it, let it go. You know? And when you need to come back, you can come back to each other. But right now, you really just need to release. And we have the Five of Cups kind of backing that up. It's like so fixated on these emotional things and the way that you want them to be, and they're not the way that you want them to be, but it's like you don't see that there's so much happiness right now. There are other people that you can connect to and that you need to connect to. You don't have to feel lonely. You don't have to feel rejected. You're not being rejected. But this person has to do what's best for them, and you have to do what's best for you. You have so much ahead of you. But you have to cut these cords and kind of let go of this person in a major way. It is what is best for you right now as well. And logically, I think you already know that. And probably you've known it for a while, but that doesn't mean that it's easy to cut those cords. Maybe even doing a cord cutting ceremony, if you don't think you have the power to do it yourself, some sort of cord cutting ceremony or cord cutting meditation. There are those on YouTube. You know, get some spiritual assistance. Pray to Archangel Michael, or just pray to God or whatever. Like, you need to do something. If you can't do it on your own, seek your higher power to help you, because right now you're in a sort of state of emotional addiction and it is not helping either of you. So I'm sorry if that was a difficult message, but I hope that it's also a helpful and a healing one. Group 2, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, Group 3, you chose the Empress card as your overarching card. And what is this person thinking and feeling since this last conversation that you had? I love the energy of these cards. First of all, this is the energy that is shared between the two of you. This is their energy as they see it and feel it, and this is your energy as they see it and feel it. So I feel like they feel very validated. What do I mean by validated? They feel respected by you. They feel that also they are being successful when it comes to this relationship. So whatever you said in this recent conversation, they felt that you were expressing that you were happy with them And that made them feel good, basically. Like, okay, good. I'm glad that you're happy with me because that's what I'm wanting to do. So that makes me feel like I'm succeeding here in this relationship. And yeah, they think that you're very satisfied with them. And we have the Ace of Swords as the shared energy, so both of you are correct. You know, you are satisfied with them. You are really happy. You're satiated. You are satiated emotionally, and they are satiated in terms of their pride. They can feel proud of themselves. You know, this kind of definitely gives me the happy wife is a happy life energy, especially with the Empress card being the overarching card that you chose. Like, they want you to feel adored like the Empress. You know, they want you to have the emotional, happiness. They want your cups to be filled by them, and that's what they were trying to do. So anything else that they're thinking and feeling since this? I also think that they have something going on in their own life, which they're not talking to you about, but they feel safe and comfortable not talking to you about it. They know that both of you are kind of going through tough things in your lives right now, and that you do depend upon each other. You know, in this recent conversation, I think they felt like, you needed emotional attention and you got it and it felt good. They needed to know that they are successful as your partner or your friend or your lover or whatever it is this person is to you, and they got that as well. They got that out of the conversation with this Six of Wands. But they also know that this is an ongoing thing. The two of you are people who can rely upon each other when you're both struggling. Like, neither of these people are doing great, right? Look at this Five of Pentacles. And yet they're getting through it together. That's what I love about the Five of Pentacles when it comes up in relationship readings. And I may read it differently than other people, but it's like, we are getting through the struggle together, right? And what I think with this High Priestess, like I said, I feel like there's something that's going on with them that they're not telling you about because they don't want to burden you. And if you see the man here, he's got crutches. Like, he has a greater burden than the woman has, but she's facing her own difficulties in a very stoic way. She has close to the same level of challenges, but she doesn't have to walk on crutches. And metaphorically, I feel like this person knows that they're actually going through something that's a little bit tougher than you are, or at least they feel that it is. But they don't want to burden you with that. Like, they don't feel the need to burden you with that. And also because they see you as the Nine of Pentacles. So they do feel like you're kind of in a place where you can enjoy and appreciate life, or there's some sort of ease that you're experiencing, And so even though both of you are going through tough times, you are at least coping very well. And I think that they are also coping very well with the High Priestess, but they cope more through not always talking about it. I don't think talking about it always makes them feel better. I think that they do feel like you have some level of awareness, though, that they're going through tough things, and you're respecting them by not always bringing it up. Like, sometimes it's easier to not bring up, what someone else is going through, because not everyone always wants to talk about that. Sometimes it feels worse to focus on it, right? Yeah, but this person is, like, really in love with you. I feel like with this Lovers card, I think that you both are equally in love with each other. I think on your end, this conversation really put to rest some of the, if you've been feeling a bit defensive or challenged by this relationship or connection, then I think this recent conversation for you made you feel more excited about it again. It's like, okay, I don't have to constantly explain to this person what I need in order to feel emotionally satiated. They're meeting my needs. They're giving me what I need, and it feels good. It feels good to both of you. They're so glad to be able to be there for you, and you are so glad that they were there for you. All right, so this is great. And what is the advice for my group 3 here? We have the Hermit card. And we have the Fool card. So it's kind of like, you know, this was a great conversation, and you're being encouraged to kind of like appreciate the light, the beautiful, refreshing energy that was brought by this conversation that made you feel so good. Allow yourself to be carried by the winds of that. Like, imagine you're a bird, and this wonderful conversation are these enlivening, wonderful, feeling good winds that you're sailing upon. You know, like, sail upon those, because I feel like there might have to be some time spent apart or something, or some reason why you may not be able to interact with each other I don't want to say in the foreseeable future, but like maybe you can't interact a lot for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, it's not always possible to have the conversation. Some conversations have to be left behind. Maybe you can't communicate with this person as often as you would like, and that could have been the thing that made you feel defensive before, and now that Eight of Wands is making you feel really, really good. It might make you want to say, hey, let's do more of that, because that felt really good. And I think your spirit guides are just letting you know, like, it's best to be okay, flow with the moment here of perhaps there not being a ton of communication. And yeah, I mean, some of you are not going to like that answer, but, you know, do you want to ruin your own feel-good emotions by getting upset about it? Because clearly this person loves you very much, and if they can't communicate with you as much as they would want to, there are things that have been left unsaid also. And I think what your spirit guides are pointing out is that anything that has been left unsaid, if you go within and trust your instincts, you probably already know what it is that's been left unsaid anyway, and it would be something that would make you feel good. It would be something that would make you feel confident and at ease. So trust that. Trust those positive nudges that you're getting from within, so that you don't have to constantly be validated and emotionally satiated by this other person. You know, happiness is an inside job. We can't always expect other people to fill up our cup. And I'm preaching to the choir, because I've been here, I get to this place over and over and over, actually. But, you know, the more we build that muscle of self-validation and letting go of neuroses and feeling like, okay, it's all right. You know, like, I know that this person cares about me. They love me very much. You know, those reminders to self are very helpful to have. And that's what your spirit guides are telling you to do. All right. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.